This Christmas, I returned to my childhood home after 6 years away. As my car rolled down the familiar streets of Portland, my chest tightened. My family had never seen me for who I truly was. I was nothing more than a shadow between a genius brother and a perfect little sister. But this time, I didn't come back empty-handed. I brought with me a secret one so powerful that the moment it's revealed, this family will never be the same. A truth strong enough to shatter the masks they've worn for years. Before we dive into today's dramatic and unexpected story, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our upcoming stories. And leave a comment to let us know where you're watching from. Now let's follow this bitter, calculating tale filled with shocking twists that will leave everyone speechless. I am Abigail Larson, and my breath catches as I steer my rental car down the familiar snow-dusted streets of Portland. The city's pulse a quiet drumbeat beneath my tires. My childhood home looming like a shadow I've dodged for 6 years. At 35, I returned for Christmas, my heart a tangled knot of hope and dread. My empire built in silence, a tech venture that's reshaped healthcare security hidden from a family who never saw me. My older brother Ethan, the prodigy with a surgeon's hands, and my younger sister Mia, the artist whose charm gilds her every step, have always eclipsed me, their achievements, the only currency my parents Claire and Robert ever valued. This time, I carry a truth too bright to ignore, a revelation to shatter their indifference. But the weight of being the unseen middle child, the one whose voice was lost in their clamor, presses against my chest. I am no longer that girl. Yet their house with its unchanged Christmas lights threatens to pull me back into its cold orbit. My courage a fragile flame against the storm of their expectations. Growing up in the Larson household was like navigating a river where the current favored others. My parents, Claire, a hospital director, and Robert, a corporate lawyer, created a world where success was the only language and their love was showered in measures of acclaim. Ethan, who was 3 years older than me, was their son, and by the time he was 17, he had already secured a path to medical school, and his future was a polished trophy on their mantle. Mia, who was 4 years younger than me, was their moon, and her paintings and social grace were a luminous dance that attracted everyone's attention. Abigail was the shadow between them, and my passion for coding a world of logic and creation was dismissed as a quirk rather than a calling. At 13, I created my first app, a simple tool to track my homework, and my heart raced as I showed Robert, "Look, Dad, it works." "Nice, Abby, but have you studied for your math test?" He said, his look brief. The words sliced through my happiness like a winter wind. Claire's answer was gentler, but no less direct. "Why don't we try painting with Mia? You're always by yourself with that computer." They didn't see the fire in my fingertips, the worlds I created in code, or my triumphs, a school tech award, a coding contest, win fading into their quiet as they focused on Ethan's praise or Mia's recitals. While my peers pursued sports or parties, I secretly coded, using my laptop as a sanctuary to shape solutions. At 16, I won a regional coding competition, my name in the local paper. But at dinner, Claire asked Mia about her art show and Ethan about his internship, my clipping left folded on the counter. Grandmother Ruth, my only ally, called that night. "Your mind's a spark, Abby, don't let them dim it." Her voice, warm as hearth fire, kept my flame alive. I worked summers at a cafe saving for a better laptop while Ethan's college fund grew and Mia's art supplies multiplied. At 18, I earned a partial scholarship to MIT for computer science, a triumph I clutched like a talisman. But at dinner, Robert's voice was flat, "MIT's costly. The state school has decent tech courses and less debt." Claire nodded. "Ethan's medical school is an investment and Mia's art school too. We have to prioritize." Their words, a cold tide, told me my dreams were a burden, not a legacy. I went to MIT anyway, loans and late-night shifts my price for freedom. My heart bruised, but unbroken, their dismissal, a stone I carried, yet one I'd learned to wield. I picked San Francisco over Portland, a place where my code could breathe, and graduated at 22, with my degree as a hard-won flag. My parents were clearly relieved, and they called sporadically, "You're doing okay." Abby, grandmother Ruth's call changed everything. "Life's too brief for pride, Abby. Come home for Christmas for me. Her voice, a tether to my roots, drew me back. My empire, a secret I'd unveil, not to boast, but to claim my place. My heart pounded as I pulled into their driveway. The colonial house unchanged its lights, a pattern etched in memory, a beacon and a cage. In San Francisco, I found my tribe coders, dreamers, and builders who saw my spark. Over a period of 6 years, DataShield achieved a valuation of $90 million, attracting numerous acquisition offers. I felt the weight of their stares before I even saw them when I stepped out of my car, my fitted coat and stylish boots, a far cry from the awkward youngster who had left. Claire opened the door, her eyes searching. Abigail, you're here. You look different. New haircut. Robert's half-hug was rigid, and her tone, which was a mix of astonishment and criticism, made me uneasy. The coder returns. Still working with computers. His joke, intended as humor, came off as a slight. Inside, Ethan and his wife Laura sat with their twins, 5-year-old Noah and Sophie, who hardly looked at me, strangers in their eyes. When Mia arrived with her fiancé James in tow, she turned to show Claire her engagement ring and said, "Good to see you, Abby." The living room was bustling with their conversations about Ethan's hospital and Mia's wedding plans, so my presence quickly subsided. During lunch, I tried to say, "I've been working on something big, hospital data security." But Claire interrupted, "Pass the bread, Abby. Mia, tell us about the venue." My words vanished, their indifference, a familiar ache sharper, now my empire a shadow, they couldn't see my heart. A drum beat for a moment to be heard. That afternoon I carried my suitcase to my old room, my breath catching as I opened the door. The space resembled a tomb of neglect, with boxes of holiday decorations and old files bearing my twin bed. My posters were gone, leaving only a faded outline where my MIT acceptance letter once hung. Claire's voice followed, "We needed storage." "You're never here. Ethan's room is ready for his kids." Mia still visits. Her casual dismissal, a blade twisted deeper when I found a box in the closet, Abby's stuff, my coding awards, my state tech challenge plaque, crumpled and forgotten. Tears stung as I called Sophia, my San Francisco sister. "They haven't changed. I'm still invisible." Her voice was fierce. "You're not Abby. You're a titan. Show them." Her words fanned my flame, but doubt lingered, my empire a secret I'd held too long. As I unpacked the house's hum, Ethan's laughter, Mia's wedding talk felt like a tide pulling me under my return. A gamble. My truth, a fire waiting to burn. Christmas Eve looming, a stage for the family's ritual. A test of whether my light could pierce their darkness, or if I'd remain the shadow they never saw. The house breathes with memories, its walls whispering of my childhood invisibility. A shadow cast long by Ethan's brilliance and Mia's charm. My heart a drum now pounding with the weight of my unspoken empire. DataShield, a fortress I've built in San Francisco's pulse, remains a secret. As Christmas Eve dawns, my resolve, a root clinging to earth against the storm of my family's disregard. Claire and Robert, their eyes fixed on their favored stars, have turned my old room into a storage grave, my achievements boxed away like forgotten relics. Yet Grandmother Ruth's warmth, her voice a hearthfire, keeps my flame alive, urging me to unveil my truth, not for their applause, but to claim my space. The air grows heavy with the promise of confrontation. My sister Mia's wedding plans and Ethan's hospital triumphs drowning my voice. But I, Abigail Larson, stand at the edge of a revelation, my fire kindling, ready to burn through the fog of their indifference. The stars above whispering courage for the battle ahead. The dining room is illuminated by morning light, and I sit with my hands tracing the oak grain of Claire's holiday table, which is a stage for the family's ritual performance. Ethan, whose surgeon's confidence is sharp, recounts his latest hospital board meeting, saying, "They're funding my trauma unit expansion 7 figures. His voice a blade of pride, and Claire beams, "That's our Ethan saving lives." Mia, with her engagement ring, catching the light, shares venue photos, saying, "The vineyard's perfect, Mom, roses everywhere." Robert nods. "James's family connections will seal it. Good stock." Their words create a tapestry of validation, and I attempt to join in, but Robert interrupts. My company's working with hospitals to securing patient data. My half-born sentence fades as their gaze slides by me, a familiar anguish blossoming my kingdom, a shadow they won't look at. Uncle David, Robert's brother, arrives with his wife and 2 teenagers in the afternoon, followed by Aunt Helen, Claire's sister, and her daughter Lily, a sophomore in college. Their chatter fills the living room with updates, careers, marriages, babies, each voice fighting for attention. I wait by the fireplace, my fitted coat a silent armor, hoping for a crack in their wall. Cousin Lily approaches asking, "What do you do? Abby, are you still interested in computers?" She says, "I operate a tech firm," and I respond, "We secure hospital data." Her eyes glaze and she asks, "Oh, like IT stuff?" I feel the old hurt reopening my flame, diminished to a flicker in their sight as Aunt Helen grabs me and says, "No ring yet, Abigail." The words, "At your age, clocks tick fast," puncture my determination like a needle. Claire adds, "Abby's always been independent. Not everyone's meant for family." The rejection disguised as observation burns my heart like a silent scream they cannot hear. Grandmother Ruth's arrival is a lifeline, her fragile body bearing a strength that grounds me. "My Abby," she says, her arms warm, her eyes seeing me. "You're glowing, child. Tell me your fire still burns." We sit in the den, away from the clamor, her hands holding mine, and her question, a rare gift, unlocks my voice, and I speak of DataShield. Not its $90 million valuation, but the lives we shield, the trust we build for patients. We stop breaches, Grandma, and keep people safe. Her smile, a sunrise, warms me. "Your grandfather Henry saw that spark in you. He'd be proud." Our time together is fleeting, Claire calling us to dinner, but Ruth's faith is a root grounding me as I face the evening's ritual, the family hierarchy poised to erase me again, my heart a drum, its beat growing louder, demanding to be heard. Claire's favorite dishes, such as Laura's gluten-free bread, Mia's vegan risotto, and Ethan's herb-crusted lamb, are all variations, and dinner is a display of her perfection, with her finest china gleaming in the candlelight. On my plate is a broccoli casserole that I've detested since I was a child, its texture a gritty recollection. "Are you still fussy, Abby?" Claire sighs, "There's bread if you're hungry." The tiny sharp object lands as Robert stands for the family prayer. "Lord, we thank you for this bounty, for Ethan's healing hands, for Mia's joyful union, and for our grandchildren's light." His words, a litany of blessings, name every soul but mine, the omission a blade twisting in my chest. I catch Ruth's eye, her subtle nod, a spark telling me to hold fast. The meal unfolds, their voices a river of victories, and my attempts to share. "We just signed a contract with a Chicago hospital, are drowned by Ethan's, my unit's saving trauma patients every day." My truth, a stone in my throat, chokes me. Their disregard is a tide pulling me under. I withdraw to my storage room bedroom after dinner, the weight of their erasure crushing me. Boxes loom, my awards are buried like bones, and a photo of my teenage self smiling and holding a coding trophy is crumpled in a corner. Tears burn as I call Sophia, saying, "It's worse than I feared. They don't see me, never have." Her voice, fierce as wind, cuts through. "You're not invisible, Abby. Your empire's real. Show them, not for them, but for you." Her words of flint ignite my resolve, and I take out a folder from my suitcase, a glossy magazine featuring my face titled DataShield's Visionary. Abigail Larson redefines healthcare security. A contract and 8-figure acquisition offer. These are my weapons, not for retribution, but to claim my truth. Christmas morning looms. The gift exchange is a stage where their neglect will face my fire. I lie awake. The hum of the house is a distant storm, and my heart is a drum, its rhythm fierce, ready to break the silence with a truth they cannot ignore. The house hums with the ritual of gift-giving, a stage where my absence will be laid bare. And I, Abigail Larson, stand at the precipice, my resolve aflame against their storm, ready to unveil my truth. Not to wound, but to claim the space I've carved with the stars above, whispering strength as I face the day's reckoning. The dawn of Christmas morning breaks sharply, its light slicing through the frost on my storage room window, illuminating the relics of my forgotten youth. My heart a drum now thundering with the weight of a truth I can no longer bury. DataShield's empire, a fortress of my creation, lies coiled in my suitcase, a magazine cover and an 8-figure offer ready to pierce the fog of my family's indifference. However, Grandmother Ruth's faith, a steady root, anchors me, her eyes the only mirror that reflects my fire. The living room pulses with tradition, the Christmas tree aglow its branches, heavy with ornaments unchanged since my childhood. Claire's hot chocolate steams in mugs, the fireplace crackling as Noah and Sophie, my niece and nephew, bounce with anticipation. Robert in his Santa hat takes his place by the gift pile, his voice bright. Let's see what the season brings. The ritual unfolds, a choreography etched in memory, youngest to oldest, round after round. Noah tears into a robotic dinosaur, roaring with delight. Sophie unwraps a dollhouse, its tiny windows gleaming, and their piles grow. Books, clothes, gadgets, each gift a nod to their place in the family's heart. Mia, radiant, opens a velvet jewelry box from Claire, a sapphire pendant. For your wedding, darling, Claire says, her smile a crown. James, her fiancé, receives a leather wallet, his welcome sealed. Ethan and Laura unwrap a wine-tasting weekend. For the hospital galas, Robert says his pride a beacon. The room hums with laughter, each gift a thread in their tapestry. My name unspoken, my presence a ghost. Sophie, with her innocence, a spark, looks up and asks, Aunt Abby, where's your present? I sit on the window bench with my tailored coat acting as quiet armor and my hands gripping my mug. Its warmth no match for the chill in my chest. The pile is getting smaller, with wrapping paper scattered like fallen leaves, and still no gift bears my name. My heart, like a drum, beats louder. The silence of my exclusion is a blade sharper than words. The room freezes, eyes darting Claire's discomfort. Robert's sidelong glance, Ethan's fleeting guilt, Mia's furrowed brow. Claire laughs thin and sharp. Oh, Abby, we weren't sure you'd come. It's been so long. We'll grab something tomorrow. Robert nods and says, the store's open right after, so there's no need to worry. Their words, like a thin shield, cannot conceal the truth. I'm not a part of their story or ritual. Aunt Helen, with a needle of pity, offers a half-used gift card saying, from my book club, Abby, take it. I decline, my voice steady. Thank you, but I'm fine. The polite but firm rejection stirs the air. Their discomfort a ripple I refuse to smooth. Mia's fruit tray, Claire's French toast, casserole, and Ethan's favorite bacon are all perfectly prepared and arranged as the family heads to breakfast. My dish, which is a rerun of last night's broccoli casserole, remains unfinished. Are you still picky? Claire asks in a sarcastic tone, but I ignore it because my appetite is gone and my heart is racing with the weight of what lies ahead. Sneaking upstairs, I gather my folder, the magazine, the contract, and my truth, preparing for a fiery confrontation. Robert raises his glass at the table and says, to family, to Ethan's triumphs, to Mia's future, to our legacy. The toast, which is a litany of their chosen stars, leaves me out once more, and my silence is no longer a surrender, but rather a building storm. I clear my throat, my voice a spark, and say, I have something to share. The table pauses, their eyes hesitant, as if my interruption violates an unwritten rule. I put the magazine in the center, my face looking back, and the headline as bold as my heartbeat lands like thunder. This is my company, I say, my voice steady but my hands shaking. DataShield. We protect hospital data and keep patients safe. We're valued at $90 million with contracts across the country, including Ethan's hospital. I slide the acquisition offer forward 8 figures, glaring. This is an offer we're considering, but I'm leaning toward global expansion. The silence is a chasm. Claire's mouth opens, no sound escaping. Robert stares, his fork suspended. Ethan scans the contract, his surgeon's accuracy faltering. 90 million, Mia's eyes enlarge as he murmurs, that's you, a crack in his armor, disbelief. In a magazine, Grandmother Ruth's grin, a dawn stabilizes me as her voice, a mixture of wonder and shame, pierces me. I knew you were a force, Abby, she says, her pride acting as a salve. Claire recovers, her voice cutting. Why didn't you tell us? We always supported your interests. Robert continues unraveling the desperate deception. You kept this secret. The truth, unvarnished and uncompromising, lingers in the air, their faces a canvas of shock, guilt, and denial. We could have helped. Their revision, a shield against their neglect, fuels my fire. I tried, I say. Every dinner, every call, but you never listened. My work was a hobby to you, my dreams too small. The moment shifts, voices overlapping. Claire's insistence, she always saw my potential. Robert's pivot to investment questions. Ethan's competitive edge. My hospital's funding is bigger, but this is impressive. Mia, quieter, clutches the magazine. I didn't know Abby. Her admission, a fragile thread, tugs at my heart, but the weight of their years-long blindness remains. I stand, my voice aflame. I didn't come to prove myself. I came to be seen, not for my company, but for me. Abigail, your daughter, your sister. The words, a drumbeat, echo in the silence. Ruth's hand finds mine, her squeeze, a root grounding me. The family scatters, their chatter resuming, but the air is changed. My truth, a spark that lingers. I retreat to my room, the folder lighter, my heart heavier, the battle not over, but begun. Christmas Day stretches ahead, a new stage where their reactions will shape our path. My fire burning, ready to face the storm's next gust. The stars above whispering of a truth now spoken. The storm of my truth, now spoken, ripples through the Christmas air. Its echo, a sharp wind that unsettles the polished rhythm of the Larson household. My revelation, a magazine cover, an 8-figure offer, and DataShield's towering empire has broken the mirror of my family's indifference. But their faces, painted with shock and denial, hint at a deeper resistance. Claire's rewritten history, Robert's grasping questions, Ethan's veiled rivalry, and Mia's quiet guilt weave a tangled web, my heart a drum still pounding its beat, a fire that refuses to dim. Grandmother Ruth's pride, a steady root, holds me firm as I traverse this new terrain, the house no longer a cage, but a battlefield. My voice, once a whisper, now a flame, burning to be seen. Christmas Day unfolds a canvas where their reactions will paint our future. I, Abigail Larson, stand tall, my resolve a beacon ready to face their shifting tides, the stars above whispering of a path forged in truth. With the remains of Claire's brunch, golden French toast, and crispy bacon cooling on plates, while my family struggles with my revealed empire, the dining room is a tense place. Robert, his lawyer's mind readjusting, leans forward and says, 90 million, Abby. I say steadily, my team found our own doors. And Claire, with a forced smile, adds, we always knew you were clever, Abby. Remember that coding book I got you at 13? His words, a claim to my success, sting like frost. You should have looped me in. I know investors and could have scaled faster. That was from Grandma Ruth. You wanted me to take dance lessons. Her lie, a thin thread, breaks as I look into her eyes. The truth, a spark, silences her, and she flushes as she reorganizes napkins. Ethan, his competitive edge sharpening, flips through the magazine and asks, your platform's at my hospital. Mia, holding the magazine, murmurs, I wish I'd asked more, Abby. Her remorse, like a gentle rain, calms but doesn't mend the years of quiet. I'd have noticed, she says. His mistrust, like a dagger, cuts deep, but I retort, it's in your cybersecurity system, protecting lives you don't see. As the afternoon wears on, the family disperses to process my truth. Robert corners me on the porch, his breath visible in the cold, and says, let's talk strategy, Abby. I could manage your legal contracts and get you a better deal. His offer, a tether to his control, irritates me. My firm's handled it, Dad. We're global now. I say, my voice aflame, and his eyes narrow, torn between pride and frustration. Claire pulls me aside, her voice low, and she says, you should have warned us, Abby. This changes everything. You're not who we thought. Her admission of blindness hurts more than her dismissals. I've always been this, Mom. You just didn't look. My truth, a stone, lands heavy, her eyes darting away, unable to hold mine. Ethan in the den probes, what's your personal stake? Millions. Enough to live my truth, I respond. But I didn't build DataShield for money. It's about impact. His hesitant assent is a rift in his armor, a glimmer of respect I've never seen. His query, filled with jealousy, aims to measure me against his own star. With her eyes seeking, Mia approaches me and asks, "Abby, may we talk by yourself? I didn't know how much we hurt you," she says in a trembling voice. "I saw you as distant, not invisible." "I'm sorry." Her unguarded and raw apology is a thread mending our bond. "I wanted to be your sister, not your rival," I say, closing my throat, "but your light always outshone mine." She nods, tears streaming down her face. "Mom and Dad made it a competition, and I didn't realize that at the time." "Can we start over?" Hope is sparked by her question, which is a delicate bridge. "I'd like that," I respond. "Let's talk, really talk about who we are now." We sit and exchange stories, her wedding anxieties and my nights in San Francisco, our words creating a new pattern of kinship rather than rivalry. Her fiancé James joins us, asking, "You're a CEO, Abby." That's amazing. His genuine engagement brings a refreshing change, easing my anxiety about the family's next move. Aunt Helen says in a quieter tone, "How'd you do it, Abby?" While the rest of the family gathers in the living room, their curiosity now in the limelight. Construct all of that, Uncle David adds, "You're a Larson, okay. You've got your dad's drive." His claim, a tether to their legacy, irritates me, but I let it go, my empire, mine alone. Grandmother Ruth, watching from her armchair, winks, "Your fire's brighter than theirs, Abby." Her words a root ground me as Claire calls for dessert, her voice bright. Abby's news deserves a toast. Her question, which lacks sympathy, prompts me to share my story. I refuse the limelight and walk into the kitchen where Noah and Sophie play their innocence a salve, while the performative shift seems false and her pride is a front for her anguish. "Aunt Abby, do you make robot games?" I ask. Their laughter, a spark, reminds me of a world beyond the darkness of this house. Noah asks, his eyes wide, and I grin. "I protect hospitals, but I can show you coding someday." As evening falls, Claire and Robert attempt a halting apology. "We didn't realize your work was this big," Robert says, his voice stiff. "Text changed. We thought it was a phase," Claire adds. "We pushed you to be practical for your own good." Their words, a half step toward accountability, fall short, their blindness, a wound they cannot name. "It wasn't about my career," I say, my voice aflame. "It was about me, your daughter. You never saw me." The truth, raw and unyielding, silences them, their faces a canvas of guilt and defiance. I return to my room, the folder now empty, its contents shared, my heart a drum, its beat steady but heavy. Sophia's voice echoes in my mind. "You're a titan." Abby and I cling to it, the day's revelations. A fire that has burned away my silence, but not my pain. The night stretches a canvas of uncertainty, their reactions a storm yet to settle my resolve. A beacon ready to face the dawn's next challenge. The stars above whispering of a truth that will not fade. The earth beneath my feet has been shifted by the fire of my truth, now a blazing beacon spreading long shadows throughout the Larson household. Claire and Robert's halting apologies, Ethan's grudging respect, and Mia's fragile bridge of regret have created a new pattern. But the wounds of my erasure remain a river of pain flowing beneath my resolve. Grandmother Ruth's faith, a root as deep as ancient pines, holds me steady, her eyes, a mirror reflecting my worth. Once a cage of silence, the house now hums with a tentative reckoning, my heart beating strongly, its rhythm a song of triumph and healing. I, Abigail Larson, stand in the dawn, my empire no longer a secret, but a testament ready to create a new bond with those who see me. The stars above whispering of a future where my light shines undimmed. The morning after Christmas, the house wakes slowly, its air thick with the aftermath of my unveiled truth. Claire moves through the kitchen, her movements precise but uncertain, her eyes avoiding mine as she prepares coffee. "Abby will talk more today about everything," she says, her voice a thread frayed by guilt. Robert at the table scans a newspaper, his fingers pausing on a text section. "Your company's in here, Abby. Cybersecurity's big now." His tone, a mix of pride and unease, betrays his struggle to reconcile my empire with his old dismissal. I nod. It's been big for years, Dad. I've been part of it. My words calm but sharp land like stones, his gaze flickering a crack in his armor. Ethan joins us, his surgeon's confidence softened. I checked Abby your platforms in our hospital system. It's solid work. His admission a rare olive branch warms me, but I hold my ground. It's more than work, Ethan. It's my purpose. Mia entering with James hesitates, then hugs me. I looked up DataShield last night. You're changing lives, Abby. Her words a soft rain mend another stitch in our bond. I take advantage of the situation and pull envelopes out of my bag. I have gifts, I say steadily, not to compete, but to share who I am. For Claire, a digital archive system to preserve her family photos tailored to her love of history. For Robert, a smart home security platform designed for his practical mind. For Ethan, beta access to DataShield's new physician scheduling tool, a nod to his world. For Mia and James, an elegant and intuitive wedding planning app. I created a gift for her and her husband. For Noah and Sophie, coding kits, with scholarships to tech camps, seeds of their curiosity. For Ruth, a tablet with health apps, and my personal support, a gift for her unwavering faith. The room stills their faces, a canvas of awe and shame. Ruth's tears glisten. You've always seen us, Abby, even when we failed you. Her words a root anchor me as Claire clutches her envelope. Her shaky voice conveys a growing awareness that my presence are a mirror reflecting their disregard for my care. The day unfolds, a fragile dance of reconnection. Mia and I walk the snowy backyard, our breath clouding in the cold. I was jealous, she admits, her scarf trailing. Your independence, your drive. I thought it made me less. Her confession raw, as winter earth opens a path. You're enough, Mia, I say. We don't need to compete. Our talk a weaving of stories, her fears of losing herself in marriage, my nights coding under San Francisco's stars, builds a bridge stronger than yesterday's. Ethan joins us later, his twins trailing. I told Laura about your work. She wants to meet you, really meet you. His offer tentative is a step, and I nod. I'd like that. Let's start fresh. Robert in the den tries again. I could advise on your expansion, Abby. My firm's got experience. His persistence, a tether to his world, meets my calm refusal. I've got a team, Dad. But I'd love to talk about your life, not just business. His surprise, a flicker, hints at a shift. A crack in the wall of his expectations. Claire tries to make amends at dusk with her hands twisting a dishcloth, saying, We didn't know how to raise you, Abby. You were so different. Her half-apology stings, but I can see her struggle. I just wanted to be seen, Mom, not fixed. She nods, tears falling. We'll try, I promise. Her vow, as fragile as new ice, holds potential, but I guard my heart knowing that promises can break. Ruth, watching from her armchair, draws me in, saying, Your grandfather Henry said you'd light the world. You've done that, Abby. Don't let their shadows dim you. Her wisdom like a fire dispels my doubts, and I arrange for her spring visit to San Francisco, a private flight to ease her journey. I want you to see my world, I say, and she smiles like a sunrise. Their interest like a spark illuminates a future in which I'm no longer a stranger. I make the decision to depart early, not because I'm flying, but because I'm clear that the storage room is now a stepping stone rather than a grave. I pack my heart lighter, Sophia's voice echoing, You're a titan, Abby. As I say goodbye to Ruth, she whispers, Your truth is your crown. Wear it. Downstairs, Claire and Robert give a last-minute gift, a silk scarf, which is lovely but impersonal. We didn't know what you'd like, Claire says, her voice tight. I smile. It's lovely. Let's talk more about us, not things. Their tentative nods are a seed, not a bloom. At the airport, Sophia waits her hug, a homecoming. How'd it go, boss? It was a storm, she asks, but I found my dawn. Months later, little roots grow Mia's weekly calls, Claire's awkward texts about her day, Ethan's invitation to his hospital gala, Robert's questions about my condo, and Ruth's wisdom, a steady drum guide me. Family is a mirror, Abby. Some stay clouded, but you've found clearer ones. My chosen family, Sophia. My team reflect my value. My empire, not just DataShield, but the sovereignty of my truth, unwavering a light that no shadow can dim the stars above singing of a path now mine. I genuinely look forward to hearing your story in the comments below. Who knows, your experience might be exactly the inspiration someone else has been searching for. If this journey resonates with you in any way, don't forget to like and subscribe so we can continue walking together through stories of personal growth, resilience, and the true worth within each of us. Life is too short to let others decide your value. Remember, sometimes the greatest gift you can give yourself is the courage to leave behind what no longer serves you and step boldly onto the path you choose. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my story. I truly look forward to hearing yours.